iHeartRadio.
Well, today we're going to be looking at something very amazing out here in Alabama. And I say that it's amazing because I don't care what anybody says. I'm so appreciative of some of the things that I see that take place with Governor, Kay Ivey's office. There's some things that I don't like, but for the most part, she seems to be spot on with some of the things that give me joy. I want you guys to take a look at this because you may or may not know it, but just recently there were a boatload of woke, quote unquote, woke pre-K training manuals that litter or pepper the recycling center. So let's just get right into this story. I want you to check this out. It says that woke pre-K training manuals litter Alabama recycling center after governor forces a top official out. All told, the books spotted in the photo have a total value of around $16,500. And I happen to be a citizen here. I happen to be a taxpayer here. Hey, I don't mind. Throw them out. How does she even get the opportunity to bring them all in? So here we go. Photos show at least 100 training manuals collectively worth thousands of dollars strewn across the floor of an Alabama recycling plant after state officials reportedly dumped them in the trash because they were too woke. This information comes from AL.com as they reported. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey reportedly forced out of the job the head of the state's Department Early Education leader. They got rid of her earlier this year because the books intended to guide the pre-K instructors to discuss systemic racism and other woke topics. And I'm glad that they're not going to dig deep into what other topics they were, but I'm sure that we can pretty much use our imagination. Now, the article goes on to say the photo was reportedly taken on May 2nd, just days after the ADECE Secretary Barbara Cooper officially resigned. The books were spotted at a Montgomery waste recycling plant just 5 miles away from the department's office, per AL.com. Now, the manuals cost about $165 each, and all told, the books in the photo are around $16,500. In 2022, Alabama officials spent close to $38,000 on manuals from the National Association of Education of Young Children, an organization that provides accreditation to child care facilities that provide, quote, high quality early learning, close quote. The manuals reportedly ask teachers to assess their own biases and take students' cultural backgrounds into account when creating and delivering lessons. A Republican state representative raised concerns in April that the manuals discuss things like white privilege and inclusivity for LGBTQ families, topics that critics said were inappropriate for 4-year-olds. Cooper allegedly condemned and recalled the books once she was made aware of the controversial passages. But Kay Ivey said that she had urged Cooper to step down because, quote, there is absolutely no room to distract or take away from the mission of educating Alabama students. Gina Maiolia, a spokesperson for the governor, seemingly confirmed the authenticity of the photo per AL.com. Here's the final quote here. It says, the governor immediately directed the department to disavow and discontinue the book, and that was done. This is Barbara Cooper, of course. She is the former head of the Alabama Department of Early Education or Childhood Education, and she, of course, was forced to resign over the pre-K teaching manual that critics called woke. Well, that's all I got for you today, but I did think that I wanted you guys to see this because to me it was very important to bring this to light, and that, yeah, things are getting a little out of hand all over the place. And I'm just glad to see that people are focusing specifically on education, specifically on the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the counting, the numbers, the science, and all of that stuff. Because to be honest with you, if we have children that are going into high school, middle school, going on being shoveled on to the next grade, for example, why are we worried about other things when it's apparent that our children are already so depleted in their knowledge that they cannot even read by the time they attempt to go into high school? Why are we doing this? Our children need education that is about the basics. Let them get that other stuff on the other side. Listen, this is a very good treat having been here with you live today. For all things Alabama, I'm Felicia Lockhart.
Lockhart Radio.